There's my little mosquito. Can you hear me now, Jane? If you want to hang around until we see more women, feel free to do so. If you have a question for the cards or me, just ask. This is a meeting for strong female entrepreneurs to network, make connections, get to know each other, talk, and also for the free one card readings. So what the cards say? Well, I primarily do readings for entrepreneurs, so just about anything that's connected to business, life as a business owner. I only have one rule mainly, and that's that I don't do readings on death, disaster, divorce, or personal love relationships. Other than that, you're free to ask anything. What is in the cards for my future business? Okay, let's see what we can figure out about that. I'm going to pull one card for you and see what I can find. The way I do this is that I take my intuitive hit from the card and then I just check the note, my own notes, so I know that I haven't missed anything. The card I pulled for you was Three of Cups, and it's a very, very nice card, party card. It's mainly about getting together with friends, like-minded people. It could be about a party, an event. It could be the community of other people like yourself, sisterhood, but it's also about abundance and celebration. You're open to helping others, which means that others are open to helping you. And that's a good place to start. But one thing you probably need for a new business is to find those support pillars, the other female entrepreneurs that can support you in your business and that you can celebrate your successes with, but also get help when things aren't going so well. Most of all, this is about celebrating and being social. So I think that's a good place to start, and you can start there even if you haven't started your business yet. You can start to get to know people, ask them the questions that you have about starting a business. That way you have a head start when you get there. You're welcome, Jane. Let's see. Oh, thanks for the props. Not quite getting used to these clapping hands. They are a bit weird. Who's a bit weird? Yeah, the hands. Yeah, they look a bit weird. So this is Friday Happy Hour. It is an hour on Fridays where I do free single card readings for strong female entrepreneurs. It's also a place to get to know each other and talk, chat, network, build connections, and ask questions and answer questions. Because I think we need a place where like-minded female entrepreneurs can connect. So that's the intro I was supposed to say before I put my mic on. Okay, so they'll get the note if someone gets in the chair with me, but people don't always do that. I don't know if they're uncomfortable with it. But thanks for the info, Jane. What kind of help are you looking for, E-Boy? Career help. Well, this is a chat for female entrepreneurs to network and get readings, so career isn't really in the scope.
The note, and that's it. I will be going out. No,
I can only see the top of your head.
Oh, sorry for that. I'm on the iPad, so I'm typing. No, I just jumped in to help you. This way everybody will get now the note, and I'm going out so you can do your thing. That's it.
Yeah, don't mind. I don't mind if you sit there. It's so much easier.
No. I'm going out. I have something else also to do. But I will see you around, and thank you for my reading.
Yeah, thank you for the help. Bye-bye. Yeah, I hope they got the note too, Jane. Thanks for the help. I wait for people to show up. I usually do some web design or graphic design or do some art. Today I'm going to work on a poster I'm doing for my services. So I have something to hand out at fairs and other events, and also something unique to share on social media. So that's what I'll be doing until someone else shows up. It's good to see more women coming in here. Do you have a question for me, Julie, or did you join for the networking? Or did I lose sound again? I hope not. That would suck. I started tonight without sound, apparently, because I had forgot to put my good microphone in and my headset was plugged in. It's new to Blab and learning. Yeah, I haven't been here for more than 5 weeks either, so there's still a lot to learn for me too. But if you don't want to sit and write, you can just click on the open seat. I think it says join, and we can just talk like it was on Skype or something. So I'm going to see if I can lure in some more female entrepreneurs here. Maybe I can put it on Facebook this time. See if we can get some people in here interested in running a business the intuitive way, because that's sort of what I am about. I hope you're doing well this evening. I'm doing well too. It is past 11 p.m. here, and I'm just having my Friday night. I'm going to be here for about 20 more minutes, and then I'm going to just relax and have some Friday fun. Did you have a question for the cards, or a question for me, or anything like that? I'm in Norway. Where are you? Atlanta. Yeah. I must say I'm not that good at American geography, but I have a pretty good idea where it is. In the south, yeah. I'm in the middle of the Norwegian countryside, in a very beautiful valley, and I run my business from home. Yeah, it's very nice. I get to go out and enjoy it. It's about your coaching business. Yeah, that's a good one. See what's the question? Am I going in the right direction? So we'll see what the cards have to say about that. See what we can find. Thanks for tweeting about the Blab. I appreciate that. I would say I think that you're heading in the right direction, but that you might be worrying too much about money. Enjoy what you have. There may come a time when you feel called to earn your money in a different way, but for now it looks like you're on the right track, and you just need to have faith in that. How does that sound for you, Lakeisha? It sounds great? Yeah, that's good. My pleasure. It makes it more fun when you have even more people. You have more opinions and more to do. The last time I did a Blab was on Wednesday, and I sat for an hour and a half without a single person showing up. Yeah, that wasn't so fun. That replay was very short, but it was I was doing a crafters chat. I've tried Periscope, yeah, but I've found that I get more engagement with the right kind of people on Blab. Hi, Raylin. Good to see you here. Welcome. I can decide who I want there. When in Periscope, it's sort of a free-for-all. Anyone can jump in, anyone can say stuff, even the trolls. And on Blab, I get to have people join me for a video chat. So that's why I prefer it. I don't know who you are. You have to introduce yourself before you sit there. So that was someone trying to join the seat. It's easier when there's a name and not DHD, GD, CF. But he dropped out, so I suppose he wasn't into what we're talking about. But I prefer Blab because of the interaction. And also Periscope. If I'm going to run a Periscope, I have to be on my phone. I don't have a tablet. So it's this tiny little screen, and everything ends up in portrait format, which sort of makes it hard to share it other places, because YouTube and everything else prefers landscape format. So I kind of like this. I'm going to show up on Periscope off and on, but those will mostly be just for fun things, or if I have something special to say. Thank you for all the little clapping hands. I think they're called props. I'm not quite sure. I've only been here for 5 weeks. I hope to drum up some regular group, really, of women that show up almost every time, that we can start building a network where we can help each other out, get to know each other, and ask questions and give answers and all that. I work on my business full time, but tarot readings is only a part of it. My main line of business is the creative coaching, and then I have my artwork, I have idea development, and the readings. So I haven't been able to narrow it down to only one field, because it didn't sit right with me. Would just focus on one thing doesn't really work with my head. I like having variety. And if you're watching the replay and you don't understand who I'm talking to Lakeisha, who is writing in the chat. I thought I'd explain that so they don't think I'm sitting here talking to myself. Yes, I'm a multi-passionate. I call myself a multi-creative because I can't even focus on one thing to create. I do art and crafts, and if there isn't something I haven't tried, it's just because I haven't heard of it yet. That's sort of where it's at. And I like hanging out with other multi-passionates too, because when you're a fusion creative where you can do both sides of the things, both the more linear things and the more chaotic things, and you can do both things, it's sort of, a linear person wouldn't understand me. One thing I try to do when I have a lot of ideas for example, a program, is that I write them down, all of them, and then I sort of check in which ones feels like the most fun to create. And before, I used to think of what the ideal client would like, but if I only do that, then I will get bored and I won't finish it. So I have to focus on what's fun for me too. I prioritize them according to what's the most fun for me and what's actually doable at this moment, because not all ideas are are doable. So then I get to narrow it down a bit. Right now I'm working on a group program called the working title is a weekly creative roundup, where I bring in some creatives to where everyone can support each other and give feedback on each other's creations and show their stuff off without fear of criticism. So that's my first group program I'm working on right now. Like a mastermind. Yeah, it's sort of a mastermind, but not. Whereas a mastermind might be people who are already successful in business. This is more for the ones who are starting out in business, or the ones who are doing it as a hobby, or trying to get back to being creative, to be accountable and have this support network. Hi, Betsy. Good to see you here. What kind of mastermind are you working on, Lakeisha? You're doing two. Launch for startups, and the other is elevate for more seasoned women. That sounds good. That's actually something that's needed. And what I find is there are a lot of masterminds doing the masculine kind of marketing, the cookie cutter marketing thing, and there aren't very many groups for women doing it in a more share your work and be proud of what you do and let people get to know you and building relationships kind of way, a more authentic way. That's sort of what I've seen from all the groups I've been in on Facebook. Yeah. What kind of questions? Well, any kind of question that's related to running a business or living as an entrepreneur. The only things I don't do is death, divorce, disaster, and personal love relationships. I think it's more or less a revolution going on. We see more and more women coming up with, I don't want to do it this way, I want to do it my way. So I think it's great that there are some coaches coming up that are helping with that, like Alison Crow, for example. Women will change the world as we know it. Yeah, I think even the Lama said that once, the Tibetan religious leader. I think he said the Western woman will change the world. So I hope we will be able to do that, because I find those pushy marketing messages quite boring. So I'm trying to change mine. I still see a lot of big coaches peppering their Twitter with that. Am I on the right track in my business? Yeah, I'm going to see what I can find for that. Just going to pull a card for you. And it's the Seven of Cups. If you want to see it, if I can show it to you, it sort of looks like that. The card is a card of imagination, dreams, and you may be scattering your energies or dealing with too many options. So you need to narrow your focus in a way. Maybe not narrowing your focus to only one group of people or one area of business, but in some way narrow it down so you don't jump everywhere and you're able to make some forward momentum and get some traction. So take one thing at a time and control the areas you're able to control so you don't end up overwhelmed. Another way to put it might be to set smaller goals. That not only you have this big vision of what you want in the future, but trying to set short-term goals and smaller goals makes it more manageable and makes it easier to get there. Whereas if you have this huge goal, maybe 10 years ahead, you can't really see how you're going to get there. How does that sound to you, Betsy? I know I didn't literally answer your questions, but the cards do that sometimes. They don't always follow direction. I've been trying to read my own cards. Yeah, that's a great idea. The easiest way is to pull one card for each day and then just get to know your deck. When you go back and read the instructions, you're really taking on their interpretation instead of creating your own. The first thing I think is best to do is to get your own intuitive hit from that card. What does these symbols mean to me? And then you can go and sort of pick some parts of what other people have said, because it depends on your experiences, what, for example, a person sitting in a tree means to you. If you fell out of a tree when you were younger, that might not be a good thing. If you love sitting in trees, it might be a great thing. So get your own reverse cards. Well, there are two ways of reading reverse cards. You have those who read them as the opposite of the upright card, the complete opposite. And then you have the one I like a little bit better, where you read it as in opposition. Like the death card, it's about big, huge, drastic change. And instead of reading it reversed as no change at all and everything is standing still, it's more like the change is slower, not happening as fast, and not as drastic. Does that make sense? BD Tarot has a lot of good explanations on things like that if you want to read up on them. And she also has tarot interpretations in length that you can pick the parts that resonate with you. I also have tarot interpretations on my website, but I'm in the process of rewriting them to make them flow better. My website is lindaurson.net. I'm going to write it in here as the main site. Main site. Is a typical of a multi-passionate is that you don't have just one site. Those are the ones I got right now. I do have more. I have a web shop and a couple of other things, but those are the ones that relate to what I talked about. My pleasure, Lakeisha. I'm gonna stick it up for 3 more minutes, and then I'm gonna have my Friday night and create myself a poster or a flyer. So I have something to hand out at events, because I'm gonna need that too. It also makes a great social media share that, yeah, ask another question if you want. To me or the cards? Or both. Why do I feel stuck? Yeah. May I ask in what way you feel stuck? In what area? You don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but it's good to know. Moving your programs forward. Okay. The card that I got for you is the World. I don't know if you can see it there. And that speaks of it being a long journey, that you're feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders and you need to sit down and relax. You don't have to do everything yourself. Outsourcing may be a part of this, but you've worked hard and you're almost at the goal. It signifies some completion and fulfillment, but it's very much of a long-term project. You'll get that well-earned praise. You'll get to celebrate your achievements because you've done a lot of hard work to get there. So try to find some smaller successes and celebrate those so that you can see that you're making progress. You will reach the fulfillment, but it's definitely something that takes some time. So it's a question of patience and relaxing, not worrying, and maybe letting some other people take care of some of the stuff you have to do so you don't run yourself ragged. I'm glad to hear that was on point, Lakeisha. I'm about to end this for tonight, and I'll be back next Friday for more entrepreneurish things and for more readings. And I'll also be back on Wednesday with some work in progress for some art or crafts. So thanks for joining me. It's been a pleasure having you ladies here. I look forward to seeing you again too. I will be going through and following you ladies after I've ended the broadcast. So thanks for being here, and I will see you next week.